Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O football system. You can see in the upper right there the link to my website and then my email if you want to contact me to talk more about specifics. I'm going to talk about our deep choice series. What I love about this is there's one read for the quarterback and he really has only one option. This is based off of the Baylor version of the vertical pass. This is also a great one to use this fire tempo or up tempo with this concept. Let's take a look. So first off, with drilling it and teaching, what I love about this is we can get a ton of reps in a short period of time to work this. So you can see on the left, we've got the outside choice route where we've got the Z there to the left running just one of the three phases or choices. So you just work on it individually. Then on the right as they rotate, then you have the coach as the defender, the cornerback, and now they're going to go ahead and do the read and make those choices. You can see then we've got two quarterbacks throwing too, so great way to go through that. On the right then is the inside choice route. Now we've got our slots over the hash, and we've got the A on the left again doing just one of the choices to work those, go through the three, and then on the right we're full phase with the coach as the safety now, the ox, and the receiver making the appropriate read. Again, with two quarterbacks going. So we're maximizing reps and people involved. What I like with the series here is we built it off of the foundation of our 4 verts series. So you can see we're in a 3x1 here to the left, creates a natural isolation for the X receiver now running the choice route. Quarterback still going to read the goat off of this 4 verts, but it's that blink when he's doing the rocker. Okay, doesn't like 1 or 2, then we're going to go right to reading the dog with that one read, one option, going to the X receiver on an isolation. Okay, our number 1 deep choice is to the A receiver or a slot inside choice route, where we're trying to isolate that A receiver on the safety, what we call the ox defender. Key point here is the A is going to just take off, speed run outside that SAM, trying to get to 10 yards, reading that ox's alignment or leverage. If he's uncapped like it is in the diagram here, then he's just going to go ahead and take the seam straight up the field, up the hash for a touchdown. If the ox would go be over him but inside, then at about 8 yards, he's going to go ahead and break and run a fade towards the numbers. If the ox lines head up or slightly outside with the middle box open, then at 10 yards, he's going to take a speed cut and bend inside, bend or dig. He's going to run this just like a sail route, but to the inside using that speed cut. Quarterback now will take his rocker fake, read in the ox all the way, and then a quick 3-step drop, throwing on rhythm, reading the same keys of the ox defender as the receiver is, so they're simply on the same page. A check down possibility is when the cat or the corner to that side will drop deep and overlap to help on the A receiver. Then we've got the Z running a 10-yard tracer right there on the numbers. The H and the X are going to always run their 4 verts with the seam by the H, and then X runs his tracer at 10 yards. But really, they're relaxing at this time because we are going to go one read with one option to the A slot receiver. We can go ahead and go max protection, real simple with this, and you can see we can go out of 11 personnel, bring that H in, and get 7-man protection, same read sequence with the A receiver on the ox with the check down to the Z. We can use this same A choice or slot choice out of 3x1. You can see the H or the S now just uses his 3/1 rule, just like he does for 4 verts, getting over the backers and over to that far hash to clear things out. We like to call this cubbies now when we get into all the different receivers. That note lets the quarterback know again we are simply doing isolations. We can do the same thing here with the H or the slot receiver running the choice. Same rules now apply. A now is going to run the seam straight up, and the H has the isolation. Great when you start to get cover 1 or cover 3 and that ox or safety is really strong over to the A receiver, and you've got a mismatch of a linebacker on your H or your S. We can again go 3-by-1 exchange, and I love this. The A will go first on the 3-over-1 rule, and then the H or the slot will just go behind him, running his choice route. Quarterback still, again, though, is just reading that ox, one read with a check down to the Z on the tracer. Last is our Z choice. Key point here, so we're not throwing this all the way across the field from the far hash. We like to call this when the ball's in the middle of the field, or we'll call the formation into the boundary. You can see here now this is an outside choice concept. So again, the A now is going to take and run his bender dig to hold that safety so that the quarterback can isolate on the cat or the corner with the Z choice. Once again, easily run this out of 3-by-1. H or S uses this 3-over-1 rule. A still runs the bender dig to hold the safety, and we can isolate now the Z receiver on the cat. You can see we've got a simple way to use our inside or outside choice concepts, helping the quarterback have one read and one option, so we can do simple isolations for a high completion percentage on your deep pass game. Thanks.